This video is going to walk you through the Erin Condren Teacher Planner, and I have been using the Erin Condren Teacher Planner for the last 8 years in our homeschool, and this is not the homeschool planner, so this is the regular teacher planner, which I just feel like works better for us even with the changes on the homeschool planner. But I feel like this one works better, and it works really well if you are a challenge director because the new layout is really set up nicely to work with the strands. So let me go in here and kind of show you what this looks like. So of course they have their laminated binder opening to them. And then on the inside of my laminated binder, I have my 6 strands and then the skills that we're doing for each of the strands, the 5 common topic, just heavy, high-level topic names, and then our daily schedule. So this is the schedule we're using, a little reminder to myself when our cafe is open. We are fortunate enough to have a cafe at our church location, which is so great. On the inside, I always put my name, phone number, and email address. I didn't do that yet for this video, but that is what I always put on the front page. I'll also put more contact information in here and in here. And then when I look back, I can always see which year this was our binder. I have actually kept all of these for the very many years. I don't know if the kids will ever want to come back and look at them, but they'll have it if they do. Under classroom resources, I usually will put username and password or a password reminder for the heavy items that we're going to all the time. So things like CC Connected and Classical Academic Press and places where I go during a school day, just in case I don't have my computer with me and I'm wanting to log into one of those sites. I never know the password information. So it helps to have those school things on here. Library card numbers and information, that's been helpful too to put on here. So that's what I usually put here. And then for events and volunteers, on this one part, I put challenge subs. So these are the different people who've been willing to be substitutes for me when I know I'm going to be out of town or something. So I'm going to put in their names, emails, and phone numbers on here. So I just have that handy. And then this area, I'm going to put some list of who I think might work well for science fair judges because I'm a Challenge A director. And then down on events and dates, I might just do some of the high level things. So like August 1st, we have to declare a sign through our state for kind of our notice of intent to homeschool type deal. So I'll put that in here. We have Teen Pack this year, things like that. Those major dates, I might go ahead and add those in here. So the next part is the communication log. So at the top here, it said communication log, date, name, and then reason or resolved. And this is probably more kind of like a disciplinary record that a traditional teacher might have to deal with. And I don't foresee that really being an issue. So I always change these into reading logs. And when the kids were little, I would just write all the books I was reading to them. But in this case, I'll put my daughter's books that she's reading for school on this page. And then my other daughter, I'll put her chapter books that she's reading on this page. We might go over, but at least I have a place to start and list those out. The next part is kind of the year at a glance. And so it actually goes all the way from July to the following December. And so I've placed our CC meeting community days on here. I've already started to plot out where some of our vacations are. We have Teen Pack in February. So some of those things, I'll just put the little dots. So it's just like a high level glance at that. This page normally says January, February, March, April, so on and so on. But that never works for me because we are always starting school either July or August. And so I switched these out by doing these little sticker guys that come in the back of the book and then wrote the months July, August, September, October, and so on, because that is just a better way to lay this out. I wish they would change this. Other than European teachers, I don't know who would be starting with a January start date. So that is what I've done on here. What I plan to actually put in here are some of the materials and things that I need to make sure I'm thinking about. Like March, we have dissection, but I need to make sure I'm actually ordering that ahead of time. So I might list out what I need to order and keep these as kind of like to-do list. And then as I'm gathering, Turkish delight that I need for the start of school, I can cross that out. So things like that, I'll just put those on here and then, cross things out as I've gotten a hold of them. Next they have are a few pages of graph paper. I haven't used this for anything. Sometimes I'll keep track of my expenses for the year. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with these 2 pages. Sometimes I've just put quotes or inspirational things in here. I haven't quite decided. But on my lined page, I have my younger daughter is still doing Bookshark for history and science. And so I just kind of have a checklist of books I still need to get for her. And then I have a class list for my challenge class, and I'm going to put all of my students on here, mom's name and number, and then the contact email that I'm using to communicate to the class. And so I'll just have a quick reference guide, and I just haven't written that in yet because I wanted to film this video first. And then when you finally get into the calendar for the monthly, before every month, so this is July, you'll always have this 2-page spread where you have a full line page, most of a line page, and then dates to remember. And what I've done in the past few years on these pages looks like this. This was for last year. So I would use the stickers that are found in the back of the binder and do resources, goals, travel, reading, and this is what the girls are reading, and then I have read aloud, and this is what I'm reading to them, and then notes. And I put that in here, and this used to be for badges when they did American Heritage Girls. And then you could put birth dates and stuff like that down here on dates to remember. I've done that in the past, but I don't always use it. As you can tell, this was March of this year, and I don't have anything written in here. So because it hasn't been super useful in that setting, I think what I'll actually do is keep some of my director notes on here. So things I need to make sure to remember, or resources, any sort of notes that I have, I think I'm going to keep those onto here, because you don't have a lot of line pages to add extra notes in this binder. And then when you go to the actual tabbed page for the month, this is what a month spread looks like. So it covers over 2 pages. It's really nice to just kind of use stickers, colorful pens and highlighters and things like that, and just make it beautiful and easy and quick to look at and kind of see what your month looks like. And then when you go to the next page, before you get to the next month tab, you'll have the 4 weeks for the month. And so the month displays look like this, and they have 6 boxes where you can write in your subjects, and then they have the days of the week listed out vertically. And this is really nice because it didn't used to be in this layout, but this layout works so nice for challenge because, as you can see, you can just put your 6 strands over here. Let me show what it looks like on one of the completed weeks. So this week I've already actually started plotting out what we're doing for the week. So this is my first day of community. So Greta actually already has stuff on this week she's having to work on, but this is the first day we meet together. So I've put some of my director notes in here, and then on the following pages, I've done little check boxes of all the things my challenge student needs to work on for those days, and then we can just check them off as she's getting them completed. Over here, you can see you can have little priority things. So I have to make sure to bring Turkish Delight on that first day. I can put any meetings in here, and then this is just kind of like a little checklist of things. So to do things or other stuff that you have coming up. It's really nice because this layout also includes Saturdays and Sundays, which the other layout does not. And I don't envision needing these whole spread pages for Saturday and Sunday items. So I think, Saturday meetings or appointments or anything could take up a little bit of space up here and a little bit up here. And then I still have most of this to kind of do extra planning and notes. So you can see at the end of Sunday, I've put bring to community, because on Sunday afternoons, I'll be packing up my car and getting all my stuff together. And I want to make sure that I'm packing everything that we need for the week. And then over here, I envision actually putting out some of my meal planning, because I find during the day when we're doing schoolwork and I'm looking through here and plotting stuff and checking off things, if I can see what we're having for dinner and I make sure to unthaw things, or if I'm baking bread and I have to get dough started and stuff like that, I want to kind of see my meal plan stuff for the week just right here. So I envision putting that right here, and then I still have plenty of room to write in weekend activities. So that's what the weeks look like, and then, they just continue like that. The different months have different colors, so they have different color themes to them. And Erin Condren keeps that consistent between all of their stuff. So October always has this orangey color, pumpkin orange, and it always is that same pumpkin orange, which makes it nice to coordinate because everything will match. Okay, so once we get past all of our months, the next thing I have on mine it says clubs and teams, and this was an extra feature. You had to add this in, but I think this is really helpful because you can see you have a little spot where you can mark if this is like a meeting, extracurricular committee, or something else, and then you can put the time and location. I have to do directors meetings, and this is a great place where I can put down some of the notes of directors meetings. I can jot my notes from the meeting and then maybe do my highlighted bullet points of what do I have to do and achieve afterwards now, because I always have a to-do list after those meetings. And so there's multiple pages of this, and I think this is just going to be a great way to track my director kind of meetings and progress and things that I need to do. After the meetings is where they have the checklist, and by default you always get the checklist. I have not been a fan of the checklist. I don't even think they're in the homeschool planner, teacher planner, because they don't make a lot of sense for homeschoolers. The idea is you can put the student's name over here, and you can have something like, math test, reading test, whatever the case is, and you can put in grades or check that they've done something. And I just don't find that this is really helpful in our homeschool environment. So what I have done, I am, however, doing grades this year for my 7th grader. And so I am keeping kind of a grading rubric. And so I'm checking stuff off on here. I have this for all 6 strands. And so I just glued these in here so that they're handy and they're right where I need them. At the end of the day, I can just check off what she's done and what I need to mark. And then with these extra pages, I don't think I have a use for them. I saw a really great video where somebody laid out 2 months in a row, like a high level 2-month view at a time. So I might do that, where you put like July, August, September, October, and just have a big block where you're looking at like 4-month spread at a time. So I might leave some of these to add that in. I think that's actually a pretty good idea. And then at the end, you always get 4 pages of stickers for free. And this is what they look like. And I always buy, I have a bunch of these Cool for School. These are the extra sticker packs. And so like this is an older version of it, but they'll come with a bunch of other stickers. And as you can see, I need to use my stickers more because I have so many. So I'm trying, my goal this year is to make my book more colorful and beautiful and use the stickers and use the colorful pins and don't care about perfection, but get the proper use out of it. Okay, so that's my goal. You guys hold me to it. It comes with a file folder guide. It's got a little pouch in the front and then another one in the back. And this one is a little bit easier to stick bulky things into. And it also came with this stencil guy. He can clasp into here, or he can help you. Here, you can probably see it clear over here. You can put this like on the day and do outlines of things, or do circle dots, or set up like a whole month display with that guy, flag things, stuff like that. So this comes free with it, and that's a handy little tool. And then I think you get one of these like page protector pages included. I always pay extra and get the 3, and I always use the 3. So you can see I have my essentials guide, and I use this constantly to just kind of see what we're at for the week. So there's my essentials guide. I don't have anything that compact. Actually, I could do my snapshot. So the Challenge A snapshot, I guess I could put that in the front and back of the next page. And then I usually keep the kids' standardized test. We were in Colorado. I used to have to do standardized testing every 2 years. And so it's just a habit. We do it every year. So I'm waiting for their TBS test scores, and then I'll put those in here because I usually keep those in here. So there you go. I don't have anything on my last page yet, but this is another place. It's really nice. You can use dry erase marker on here, but even better, use the wet erase marker, or you could even use the little Sharpies. You can do the big Sharpies, but the little Sharpies, okay, I don't have one right now. The thin are even better, and you can write on here and it will come off with alcohol wipes. So don't worry about that, but it helps keep it a little bit more permanent so it's not like smearing off when you rub your hands on it or anything. So the wet erase or using a Sharpie works best on these pages. So I hope that was helpful in seeing how to use it. I actually have a referral code, so I'll link that in the notes below too. And I think you get a dollar amount, a certain dollar amount off or a percentage off. I don't really remember. They keep changing what it's worth, so I can't keep up with it, but you get something. So if you decide that you do want to get one of these, use the referral code because you'll save some amount of money. Okay, thanks so much for watching.